what the girl saw. So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always. It brings to my attention that every time I always press, I don't read it. And obviously people don't like, wait, did he read it yet? Or no, I should be reading it. Holy shit, why am I like skipping over? Just read it again. Even though I read it the past couple times. So you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run. Well, yeah. I mean, what's the point of spending a Joey to make a few bob, eh? That's a rum idea, innit? That's true. I suppose she means there's no point spending money to make money. It actually makes sense. Yeah, seriously, it makes sense. Why would I pay $1 to get $99 out of it? Like $100, but 99 because we lost $1.
Consola, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief. Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants.
And he's like, well, that does clear up that little mystery of the fares and all. For paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making the 20 to which the cabman testified. And one little scapegrace riding for free. The red conch of a driver always goes for some grub before its last run, see? That is when I slipped into the carriage and get myself hidden under the seat. Nice and easy, right? But your hiding place is a storage compartment. Full of equipment for the coach, you know. Are you gonna lie right there? She's gonna lie, isn't she? Because we know for a fact there is stuff in there. Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there. Sure. I always chunk all that out and cram it in the corner somewhere. Well, that makes sense because it is in a corner. But where is it now? No one ever seems to bother much. And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia, whatever it says, I don't know. Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all the stuff out so I hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you. It's really hard to read sometimes with this type of dialogue. Like, holy shit, I know it's supposed to be like, I don't know, gangster, right? I don't know. Or slang. But either way, it's really hard to read that at times.
It seems we've reached the end of the line of inquiry. Continue.
So what else? Did I not press it? But it was a right old waste of time. Got nothing to show for me troubles that night. Which is weird because you would assume you might have, because look at this guy. He's loaded. Why didn't you get anything from him? Hold it! Especially if he helped you out. Like, he helped you out. During that time, you could have swiped something. A waste of time. Why is that? Well, most nights, I'm on me own in the god. In the god permit, at least some of the time.
I beg your pardon? Did you say, God permit? What's that?
Oh yeah, well that's what my kind call it. You'd say the omnibus, I suppose. The copper, wait, what? The God permit? You call that? The omnibus that? Wait, what? The point is, any normal run, the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while. Oh, then why not call it a carriage if you're still gonna call it that? The fuck? The God permit. Or whatever she said earlier. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away. That's it. Only that night. This code was sat on me seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. I was totally stuck.
Do you mean to say, did you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while the events unfolded in the enclosed cabin.
Yeah. Alright, mister. To be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to lift the cushion you've been sat on to find a child now, do you? So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then. Unless... No, just kidding. Well, she wouldn't be because she wouldn't she had something on top of her. She would have to be, you know, like either strong enough to lift it up so he can fall over not noticing it regardless. But it doesn't seem like it was her either way. I'll tell ya, you can't see a blind thing in the hiding place. It's pitched in there. And he's like, and then what do you mean by that? What exactly did you see? So you couldn't see out of the cabin at all. Not even through the keyhole that the place adds. Actually, it doesn't have a keyhole. Never mind. Not a joke. Most days I push the cushion up and vivid and look out on the crack. Then I can have a butcher's at who I'm gonna fiddle. Ugh, the fuck? It just sounds like another crime of itself rather than freaking pickpocketing. I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. Bro, that's not even. She didn't even say that. So what the hell? I mean, she did say that, but she didn't mean it like that. I mean, can I have a look? The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other one. See? So most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite. Oh, so that's the most uncomfortable seat. I mean, that and the one up the carriage since it's cold. For some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey right over me head. And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out, I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clink. But it's the only place I eyed in them carriages. So it's Hobson's choice. Wait, what's Hobson's choice? Wait, what? Hobson? Or what does he mean by that? I need to look that up later. Why doesn't she stick to the picking people's pockets in the open then? Well, yeah, she stole a gun. I think she could steal money without any like, you know, anyone noticing. So I think she could do that. But no, she's like, I'm gonna go under this cushion and hopefully no one sits on it because it's so uncomfortable. Oh, god damn it, someone's sleepy on it. Oh well. I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor. I mean, what's something I don't understand is the Irishman himself. McGill said that he was sleeping on that cushion. And apparently it's not comfortable. It looks comfortable, but it ain't. Okay, go in. I'm just trying to see something right here. Because apparently there's blood right there that shouldn't be there. So yeah, she would have to lift it up and everything, and it's so empty inside. But this one's the only one that's comfortable, huh? Weird. Alright, anyways. Let's go back. Alright. What's she hiding? So anyways, I was a bit scared, and I had to stick it out and under there. Nothing else for it. If you're claustrophobic, why weren't you under that? It makes no sense. You put yourself in that situation. Don't even. Then after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped out of my skin. I did. And then scream just came out. Hold it! I'm sorry, I just burped. When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? She's like, I don't know. I just heard a bang. Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember some well. Point is, it made me jump. But I thought you were in there. How were you able to jump from in there? No, I'm just kidding. And that's why it feels like to be Ryunosuke, because Ryunosuke was like, I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. Like, that's not what she meant. And you let out a scream involuntarily. That's right. And then I felt the cushion over me head get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably then when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes? You think he was helping? No. He was trying to make it worse. Or not. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order. It could only have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim. Could it not?
Well, girl, did you see what happened at the crucial moment?
No, she didn't. Yeah, I saw it. What? I push up the curtain and add a quick butcher's while I had a chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting on the bloke what had fallen on the floor in the seat opposite. That matches Mrs. McGill's account, of course. But then, the fella suddenly turns around and looks right at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should never have risked looking. Wow. Honestly, I really do want to. I need to find one of my favorite dialogues from her, and give it to someone. I feel like there's a certain person I know that would not enjoy, but like would fit good with this character and the way she talks. So I might do it later, but who knows? Let's see. I forgot to read that shit. And when Mr. McGilda discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place. How much scared stiff I was. He dragged me out and sat me down on a seat and all. Okay. I feel like this is her telling the truth because she's still traumatized during the event. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason. Who would do that? Like, have him, like, there's another chair in front of the corpse. Sit it under there. Yeah, the bloke had a knife in its guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit, and he ended up falling onto me. Oh, how awful. Both my hands were covered in blood, and it makes me feel sick like as a dog. Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passenger saw. After that, I believe you talked to Mr. McGilda for a while, is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know my name and what I was up to and that. Then I heard something from above. Someone screamed. It was more high-pitched than me, by the way. Like, how?
Yes, Mr. Hush, on the roof deck, one would presume.
Nah, it was the foreplay guy. No, I was kidding. Well, I didn't want no one see me face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up smartish, and this here Irishman says to me, "Get back under that seat. I don't see that you can get away later." Trying to make her sound Irish, even though she's not. I think that's about it. All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent. For one brief shiny moment, yes. It's clear that they are still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among the new testimony, I'm sure we would clinch the verdict we want. Yes, I think you're right. And I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me, but I can't quite put my finger on it. What's bothering you, mate? Don't even know what to do now. So I snuck into the thing. I think it's this one dialogue that she was talking about. Not so sure then. I think it's this one. So you couldn't see out in the cabin at all. Not a joke, blah blah blah. Then I was a butcher's knife. He's like, oh my god, what does that mean? Alright. But for some reason the night, this year's Irishman was in my head. But for some reason you weren't able to push the cushion to peek out, I see. Truth is, I ain't happy. The dark places. Ah, there it is. I was like, I knew it was right here in this one. So it's this person I needed to say. If only I knew. What the hell? All right.
Excuse me.
Earlier, but he didn't do that. Is something wrong, Mr. McGilda? What information are you hiding right now? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Consul? I was just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no, 'twas nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass, it's all. You were laughing, though. What made you think you felt bad for her, what? I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so it was. I see, yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. Not really. I'm still scared of the dark now. Why are you scared of the dark? What? I mean, a lot of people are. Hey, and I don't know about yourself, which I think you are, but I find the darkness seems to make everything you hear seems that much louder as well. Wow. Now that I think about it, he has a point. I do feel like that. Usually in the mornings, it doesn't feel like it's loud, but once it's nighttime, you can hear it. You can basically hear everything that's around you really loud. Yeah. I suppose it does, maybe. Miss Lestrade! Did you hear something that night? Anything, an unusual noise perhaps? The thud, she mentioned that, but I think something else too. Nah, not really. Bruh. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Big Jabbers! There's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles! You little scrap! What a pity. If only Mr. Straw had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yes. What should we make of this last statement of hers? It's insignificant. Oh, if she's mentioning it now, it could be useful for later. It's profoundly important. The fuck? My lord! I believe the statement of him snoring, just made by the witness, is profoundly important.
Profoundly important, but all she said was the guy snoring was that she heard nothing.
Yes, which is a profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it.
I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind, Consul. Nevertheless, I will grant you the permission to use it as testimony. Miss Gina, you will supplement for your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please.
What? Supplement? What are you talking about? Don't give me that all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me. That's right. Insult the judge. Always a good move. It's so funny. Yeah, that's right. Insult the judge. The guy has power to, like, basically, you know, throw you in jail. Anyways, if she heard a loud thud, well, the knife wouldn't really make it important. Like, he would hear a scream regardless. Like, ah! Or something. But his face partly obscured from the odd crooked hat. Let's see. Scarlet Yard's death stabbed once in the abdomen, and the knife was joined and died due to internal from the trauma. So he bled to death, but he didn't hear a scream? She didn't hear a scream, so that would mean that he would have to die. But what do I present for that? I don't know, I might as well press on this one. Since it's new information too. So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hid yourself. Not exactly, no. Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion and up and add up butchers to see what was what. But then, when I saw the swell getting on, I got me Ed down and he didn't notice me. Mr. McGilded sat under the seat, which you were hiding, correct? Yeah, would you Adam and Eve it, eh? What a mug! So what, Adam and Eve it? What the fuck? So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out there as soon as I heard him leave, see? But would he not like it? But would he? Not likely. Even though we stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. I just had to stay and put on listen to him driving. It's pigs to market, snoring like an old dog he was. Are there conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? It doesn't it makes sense, so regardless. Well, that all makes sense to me.
You took your time reaching the conclusion, Consul.
What was that from Roller Bendings? He's laughing! Is he laughing? He has humor? Holy shit!
Well then, continue with the cross-examination. Please, Consul.
Alright. This might be my third mistake of the game. What the fuck am I doing? Actually, I might as well do this. What would happen if I just say, went with the other option, be like, yes, it is important. Oh wait, it is important, now that I think about it, because if she's claiming that she only had heard McGilden in the car, and not the other guy, so that would mean that the other guy wasn't there to begin with. Here I was thinking that he was there the whole time, but no. It doesn't add up. Miss Lestrade, what you have just told to the court is clearly at odds with the facts. Huh?
At odds? Are you sure, Mon?
Well, yeah, I am sure. Because Lord Von Zeeks, Barry Von Zeeks, not Lord Von Zeeks. Actually, is it Lord? I don't know. Von Zeeks was laughing at me. So it has to be at odds. Absolutely. Emperor, you saw me laugh, so what? It seems my learned friend, Nipponese friend, is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Von Zeeks realized it too. That's why he was laughing before. I guess. I thought I needed to present evidence, but no. I just need to press more.
Consul, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name, at the very least.
Yes, my lord.
I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court.
According to Miss Lestrade, whilst she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilda snoring. But think, Ryunosuke, think! Bro, you were... Okay, he hit it himself twice. Holy shit. There's something else you should have heard. I'm gonna show a person. Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by the presence of a following person. And where is he? Is he not here? Oh wait, I was like, where is he? Thrice Fire Mason.
Thrice Fire Mason? Hmm?
Yes, my lord. The sound of that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear. The sound of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding on the omnibus.
Order! Explain your reasoning, Consul.
Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in there, above, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGilden. That it was! Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard! At least, not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. It was on its own for sure. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for. Weren't waiting for this swell to leave. Which would have been a shame because he was rich. You could have pickpocketed him for loads of cash. Holy shit. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage?
Huh.
We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin from the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Why is she scared? What? Like, oh my gosh, he has a point. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed.
Well, Lord Von Zeeks.
Oh, it is Lord Von Zeeks. Never mind. The fuck? Yes. He knew. He knew it all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. Well, duh, he is a prosecutor. He's smart too. We're not the only ones. So whatever, it's like a fucking One Piece laugh. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. Wow. Or it is the truth. He's dead right.
How could a victim possibly not be haunted?
That makes no sense whatsoever. Type. I'm typing this dialogue instead. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Wait, am I gonna do this again? Fuck! She didn't even say anything!
I didn't want the judge to deal little mite just because she was some rather naughty ways.
Whatever, I don't know.
But I must say, I can't abide liars.
And neither can I!
Mr. Foreman! That's not his name, by the way. They just call him the Foreman.
I didn't want to judge. I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than Salisbury's ways. Because I am that kind too. But I must say, I cannot abide liars.
What? Bruh! Oh, great. We only need the maid. Please, don't change the maid. She may be dirty, but she can be cleaned. I swear. Mr. Naruto, the vice jury members leaning towards guilty.
I'm gonna pour my Kool-Aid now. It was coward before, now it's Kool-Aid. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Red Kool-Aid, so delicious. Yes, very refreshing.
Fuck. I didn't know what he was gonna say. Oh! As he says.
Ah! What are you playing it? Have you forgotten you're working for, you useless Eastern Armadan?
This is carnage. It's perfect. Try number 2. It's the only one left. Please don't do it. Mr. Naruto, the way this is going. I know. We can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGill is innocent. Innocence, more like it. The judge will rule, and we'll have lost, unless we can use the jury summation. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of the London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept the hard truths. No, do it! Hold it! Yes, oh thank God. Don't do it, mate! Ryunosuke's like, yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, I'm bluffing right now. If we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case.
What are you saying?
Ooh, we're saving this.
Counsel?
I'm sorry, sir? Whatever do you mean?
Counsel, I very much want to know. I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue adjudication, my adjudication. Explain yourself at once.
I got this.
When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage.
If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? Since she heard a loud thud, and since we know there is a skylight from above, what if he fell in? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. He was already in there. There's another entrance. He was put there after he died. Either or, But it's like, there's another entrance. But I would like to say he was put there after he died. Obviously, the victim must have been placed in there, in the carriage, after he was killed.
Objection!
Tell me, my learned friend, what was the function of that obliviously in your sentence?
Well, sir, Lord Van Six. Now, obviously, it's troubling me also.
No. That's really not the point. The point is that the victim must have been moved into the carriage afterwards.
Then answer me this. How could a cadaver have been placed inside the moving carriage?
We can answer this. Well, obviously,
I shall have penalized the defense heavily for this irreverent rambling.
damn it! If only I was the one in control. I would have been like, I have evidence. If only that. Oh well.
This penalty is evidently not heavy enough, judging from those Nipponese eyes. So I ask you again, so you can get penalized again. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? Fuck up again! I dare you!
Alright, we got this, don't worry. Okay, so it has to be, there's another entrance. Duh, apparently. If the door wasn't open even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabinet is furnished with a door. The other was for only windows. Fixed windows, which cannot possibly open and short.
Wait, how does no one lose oxygen or like, I don't know. Oh, not lose oxygen. More like get overheated in that cabin. What the hell?
There's no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection!
But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered.
Oh, really?
Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin.
They're like, they gasp.
Alright, Consul. The defense will identify the location for the court. Here is the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is the entrance by which you propose the victim entered the cabin?
Well, we see it right here.
Take that!
It's right here. The answer is obvious. It could only have been the skylights.
I say, the skylight. I couldn't even think about that. Oh my god. He made a good point.
Objection!
He does not make a good point. Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However,
Objection!
Oh, we stopped him in there. The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
so you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support your abdicated brain theory?
Do we? Both Mr. McGilton and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claim to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor.
Yes, which was already been explained. As the sound of the victim falling from his seat, having been assaulted with a dagger.
Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact.
Good gracious.
Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victims fell from the skylight into the cabin. That's simply impossible!
How can you be so sure?
Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimonies.
Well, yes, that's true, but...
What do you have to say? What the fuck?
Might a humble fella make a wee comment here?
Mr. McGilded!
Why? You're gonna make yourself seem so guilty. What the fuck? What are you trying to talk about? To be sure now, the two fellas were sat on the roof that testify afore. So nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much of a case of them not saying but hiding, isn't it? Aye? 'Tis a case of them being unable to say.
What? What do you mean by that?
I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Oh my goodness, surely not.
Yes, let's implement this theory that they might be lying.
Those two chaps on the roof.
She's such a... You mean, the ones who stuck in the knife into the man were...
Ah! Ah!
Hold it. Oh, they came back. Just what exactly are you insinuating here? You blitherer. You rotter, he said. You rotter. What are you insinuating?
What the fuck is he trying to do? Like a fucking horse right there, like riding on a horse. What the hell?
This is a flaming outrage. I've had a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute. He'll give you a shine in a moment. In a minute, he said. And so will I.
Mr. Fairplay.
You're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker. And me, a very angry hatter. Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. It's... I protest the strongest possible terms. That's right, I protest too! About you rotten scoundrel!
I hope my neighbors doesn't get mad about for yelling. Holy shit.
Order! 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 It is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit the wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. What? But it is beyond reason, my lord. Huh? It's outrage! It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord 16.
It was the defense that incited the outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof.
Accuse?
I never intended to. Yeah, we never really intended to. It was mostly him, Mr. McGilded. It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. What do you mean by that? You propose at the court that the victim fell through the skylights from the roof deck of the omnibus. The hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimidated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is what in our British courts of laws, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. Ooh, I know I was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought.
What are we wasting time for? Get them! Huh? Testify! I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. We have to see this matter through now, one way or another.
If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once. What is this? Is that fucking anime? Why does everyone have to say something? What the hell? Oh shit! Testify! Do it! Do it! What's happening, Mr. Naruto? The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy. I never heard that once before in the other games. Holy shit.
Mr. Fairplay and Mr. Horst.
My lord!
You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense.
Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this.
I'm making him laugh because it shows that he's laughing, but I'm gonna make it say that he's laughing. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keeping pushing forward. Is keeping pushing forward? It's keep pushing forward, right? What? That's not proper English. Well, he is from Nipponese, I guess, or Japanese, so he is Japanese. He doesn't know what the English words are.